Now, I've been playing with these new super agents. Finally got my hands on one yesterday, and I'm getting the hang of what quite they can do, and it completely upends everything. So let me try and explain here. So, level one of using AIs, I think that most of us are familiar with, is something like GPT. So it's a chatbot. So you're going back and forth with it over many, many rounds, and it's helping you with bits and pieces, but you manually have to do something with that information. Now, a super agent can navigate your computer just like you can. It can move a mouse around, it can go between different programs, it can basically do everything that a human can. So you can give it a broad task and it'll go through 50 different agentic steps to complete it. So, for example, it could be looking up something in your inbox, it could be scheduling something for you, it could be conducting independent research, it could even be phoning people up quite convincingly and having a chat with them and putting that into the end task. So, that is then level two of a super agent. Now, most people aren't even using the old agents yet, but since super agents are around, let's assume that we're jumping straight to them now. So, what it can do is it can move between different platforms from a phone call to an Excel to online without you touching it at all. So it can auto schedule things as well. So these things can be running non-stop and do a complete job in that way. And when I was working with it recently, I was on Manus and I gave it a bunch of documents with a command to come up with some recommendations. And I needed this quite urgently for work. And when I was looking at what it was doing, it was spending, quite a lot of time, but it was handling like 20 documents at once and gave me about the 5 documents I needed back in one shot. So this morning, while Manos was busy working, it took about 20 minutes on the task. So it's a public holiday at the moment. So I was just in my garden watching this view, having a cup of coffee, while my laptop was next to me with Manus busy working away. I think this is maybe the view of what future work-life balance will look like. But the super agents, so Manus was the first one. I've eventually got access to it, and it's good. I'm still practicing. Then GenSpark and Jipu, notice all of these are Chinese, have come along very recently and are offering basically free versions of what Manus can do. Lindy seems to be specializing in multi super agent collaboration, which we'll come on to in a bit. Now, rather than rush out and worry too much about these individual new things, I mean, certainly play with what's available, but this whole sector is moving exponentially fast. So these AI companies, they're here today, may be gone tomorrow. So don't make major plans with them. They are, as we'd call it, ships passing in the night. Also, if you're investing in them, think of this as well. But if you've got a super agent that can basically do somebody's job in its entirety, think of how that fits into a company. So you would have multiple super agents working together, just like you have multiple humans working together. So, for example, in a finance department, you maybe have the CFO who's doing the strategy setting, the risk profile, the investment level, the indebtedness level, making these strategic decisions. But everything else from the tax, compliance, management accounting, operational accounting is all done by different agents with no other people needed. So these department level swarms, that's already possible. And then you can imagine, okay, you've got more than one department, you've got your sales, your purchasing, your manufacturing, whatever. So each one of those could be headed by one human, and then the agents working obviously within the department, but across departments as well. So that would be level 3. Now, level 4 is where your overall company is a bunch of super agents in swarms. So think of your competitive advantage as a company. It's like in the past, your company is as good as its people. So you've obviously tried to get the best people, deploy them in the best way, and compensate them and organize them. Now you've got agent swarms, and your competitive advantage is how well you can organize that agent swarm. That is the competition between companies. It's your swarm against those. So this is what you call swarm capital. So we've moved from human capital or human resources to intelligence management, which is a combination of AIs and humans, to now even further into swarm capital. So, how does this look then in terms of a bigger picture? So, imagine on this ladder of the different steps you could be. So, level 0, no AI at all. Level 1, most people are already there. They're using chatbots. Okay. Now, using super agents, that's me as of yesterday, but it's already possible to put those into agent swarms. I've had a look at the websites that can collaborate that together, and it's just a matter of time for me or anyone else to do that. And then, of course, the natural consequence is company swarm advantages. Now, imagine a world where companies are competing in terms of swarm advantage, which is already possible. So the gap between what companies are already doing and what is possible is getting exponentially wider. So imagine you're a company with no AI at all or a little bit of uncoordinated chatbot use, and your competitor becomes a swarm advantage competitor. You're toast, and including your individual job. So this is, I think, now the next stage of where it's all going. Scary stuff, also very exciting stuff. I can see my future consulting pretty much kind of following this ladder. So at the moment, I'm just persuading people often to use basic agents. It's very quickly going to escalate from here. But I think this is the vision of the future, where it's going now.